and welcome to the Love MEESH Podcast. I'm your host, Meesh, and it's a billion podcasts to listen to, and the universe guided you right here to this one. I've been podcasting for about 3 years now, so happy third birthday to me. I'm super excited to continue growing and sharing my journey with you. So welcome to my world. Hey, loves, and welcome to another episode of the Love MEESH Podcast. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the 77 healing modalities. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more. So now that we've talked about trauma that everybody in this world has not escaped, we're going to talk about different healing modalities. It just feels weird. A dog licked my leg. A slob feels weird. So, we usually start the podcast out with our recos, right? Okay. So, the business reco for this particular podcast will be the local farmers market. Okay. Let's support the farmers. I would love to go on a farm and pick apples and stuff. And my parents were talking about going to a local butcher and getting meat. And they wouldn't mind, doing that. Like, when did we say screw the farmers and go right to Walmart and Publix and stuff? Like, they're the ones that can give us the freshest, most organic products. And I know depending on where you stay, that may not be an option, but for those of us that are by the farms that have easy access, hey, why not? I think we traded health for convenience. So the convenience at Walmart may be 2 lights up the road versus the farmer that may be 30, 40 minutes out. But at what cost are you choosing Walmart over your overall health? So that's why I wanted to put local farmers markets as a local business reco, because as you learn more, when you know better, you do better, right? The more you learn, you should try to better implement what you've learned, right? So the more I learn about the different body parts and what they actually need to function, are these ribs really good for my body? Or do I need to make a smoothie? Do I need to add some sea moss to give my body the nutrients that it actually needs? So, it's hard to really judge people, because if they don't know, they don't know. However, when you do know, what's the point of knowing if you're not going to implement it? So knowing that your body needs minerals and knowing that you aren't giving your body minerals, like, that's a sign of, hey, no. That's a sign of non-self-love. Like, we say these things with our mouths, but our day-to-day actions prove that it's a lie. That's what I've come to realize. Like, the number one thing people say is, I love myself, I have self-love, I love myself, I have self-love. But you weigh 800 pounds. You may love doing your nails and you may love doing your hair, but you don't love taking care of your body, and it shows. So let's just try to do better. And it's always going to be knowledge and wisdom from me, because that is what helps you do better. If you don't know your body needs these nutrients, you're not going to eat like that, and that's completely understandable. But let's love ourselves enough to learn these things so that we can better take care of this spaceship that we're in. So that we can live as long as we possibly can to complete our mission before it's time to go home. A lot of us were sent here to help. And you get lost in the sauce, your body done died out, and you didn't even complete your mission. So let's try to be good stewards and good messengers and good angels that we are. That's what Grandma said. We are angels. We are messengers. Some say we are the fallen angels. So let's get our wings and get the heck up out of here. Hey! He been nibbling lately. Okay, so the video, movie, TV reco would be Spirited Away. I really love somebody. So now that I have more of a spirit mind lifestyle, a lot of spiritual things have been coming to me. Like, oh, look, that was a real good spiritual movie, or da da da. And even if it's a regular movie, I'm able to get spiritual messages out of it. So when I saw Spirited, her and her parents. Wait, let me see if I can think of what app it was on. Spirited was on, I think it was on Prime. And her and her parents, it was a girl, her and her parents are driving somewhere. And they stopped along the way, and they went into this village, and it was food set up. It's Chinese culture. And the parents started to eat the food, and she wasn't hungry. She was sad. She started to walk around, and it was already later in the day, so the sun started to go down. And she came back to her parents, and they were pigs eating the food. And she started to see ghosts and different figures and stuff like that. And then this one guy, he was like, you need to run. You need to run to the dungeon and go ask him for work. Or if so-and-so finds you, she'll turn you into a coal or a pig to be eaten. And I'm like, what the heck? So, in the Chinese culture, they have a lot of stories and mythologies, which I think is actually truth. But since people can't really handle the truth, you got to stabilize it a little bit. So eventually, she couldn't leave. Her parents were pigs. She promised herself that she was going to free her parents to get away. And throughout this movie, this young woman, although she cried and she was sad about the situation, everybody that was mean to her, she was still nice no matter what. Everybody that she came in contact with, she was nice. When someone chased her, she was nice. When someone was mean to her, she was nice. No matter what a person did to her, she was nice, and she even, saved their life and different things like that. And at the end, she was able to free herself. I looked at it as in, no matter what situation you're in, always do good. And, and that good karma that you build will eventually help you get out. And she was able to free her parents, and she was able to leave. And the guy told her, don't look back. It was so interesting because the guy that saved her, she was in a river one day. I think she almost drowned trying to get her shoe. And she was like, you are the spirit. You are the river, the spirit of the river. You saved my life. And he ended up being a person and a dragon and all this other things. So that just leads me to believe that in this realm, we may be a human. In another realm, who knows what you are. In another realm, who knows what you are. It was just so interesting. But Spirited was a really good movie, and it just showed the more spiritual aspect of life. Another movie that I saw that my sister recommended. Let me go to the text message. Undone. Again, this is on Amazon. So it's 2 seasons. I saw 1 and 2. It's so funny. Me and my sisters are doing different things, different households, different families, whatever. And we always be watching the same thing. It's so crazy. So my little sister was like, Undone. You need to check out Undone. It's about telepathy. All the stuff you be talking about. I'm like, yes. And then my older sister was like, oh my God, season 2 is out. You got to watch it. I watched season 2 and I was like, oh my God. Undone is about them being able to travel back in time and change timelines. Like in one timeline, the daddy had died. She was determined that she did not want to be in a timeline with her daddy dead, and she figured out how to get to another timeline with her daddy being alive. When she got to that timeline, she still wasn't satisfied. Now she trying to help her mom fix her timeline, and ultimately the dad's mom, which is her grandma, fix her timeline. And what I got out of that is, I do feel like we live different timelines. Like every choice you do make and every choice you don't make, those are realities. Those are lives that are living. It's another movie on Netflix called Ayo, and this will remind me of every choice that you make or every choice you don't make is a timeline. This just happens to be the timeline that you're in. That's why they always say don't think about the past. It's gone. Don't think about the future. It's not here. They're just letting you know, hey, this is the timeline that you're in. And the choices that you make on this timeline make up your past and, create your future, which is true. But I like how determined she was. She wanted her dad to be alive. She wanted her mom to have a good timeline. She wanted her grandma to have a good timeline. But at the end, she still had to face the truth. Although she was able to be in a timeline with her daddy being alive, he ultimately died. So that goes to show me, too, no matter what timeline you're in, you can't avoid the inevitable. And it just happens at different times. So in one timeline, he died early. In another timeline, he died later. But the point is, he still died. And she just had to accept the fact that, she could have continued to jump for years, just trying to jump to different timelines with her dad being alive. But she just had to face that reality that, she can go to one timeline, it could be worse. She can go to another timeline, it could be better. Regardless of the timelines, he's going to go. And that's something that she, didn't want to deal with in none of the timelines. So she finally faced the fact that, I'm happy for the people that are in my life and the time that we have spent together, because she realized that one day we won't be together. So instead of trying to prevent us not being together, enjoy the times that we do have together. And I actually needed that for my life. I'm going to start making more memories with my family, because I do realize when you get older, like my grandma come over and stuff, all she do is talk about the past. All those memories, they're either happy or sad. It's like when you're young, you're setting that up. But when you old and you just sitting back in a rocking chair, you just reflecting. And you either have a life full of good memories or sad. And a lot of elders have memories of sadness. And that's what makes them depressed, and they end up tapping out. Like, make sure that you live life so well that when you in your rocking chair, you have smile, smile, smile. Lots of good memories. Lots of good things that you've done. So, yeah, check out those movies. I enjoyed them, or, I got my own messages out of them, and I know you will get a message out of them as well. Let's see. A podcast reco would be PTSD, not just veterans. I have a link below. This woman made me cry. Like, she was literally talking about one of the traumas that I'm working through is the loss of life, like carrying a child and either having a miscarriage or ectopic pregnancy, and just thinking about, what that life would have been, just reflecting on what other timelines are, had they lived or whatever, but just realizing that I'm in this particular timeline for a reason. But just hearing someone, just because it's something that people don't really talk about, like even around me, there are mothers that have lost kids, but they don't talk about it. So it's just something that, maybe it carries so much grief and sadness that it's not something that you would necessarily want to bring up, but how many people can relate? Even when you think about abortions and stuff, I never hear somebody just sit down and talk about it. Very rarely. You might hear funny comedians joke about it. Like this one lady, she was like, I'm a mother of 7. She was like, I got 2, but I had 7. And, but she was just funny about it. But not everybody is. And I'm pretty sure that's a trauma of itself. I've never sat on a table and had someone literally take a baby because I didn't want it. I was told you need to call your parents right away because you could bleed to death. We will try to save the baby, but if we can't, we're going to cut the baby out. And that's what they did. And my sister remembers seeing the baby. She said it looks like a seahorse. And I do want to go back and get that picture, that x-ray of the baby, and like frame it and just keep it for me. And I know that that's a trauma that I have to deal with. But I know that before the tubal pregnancy happened, before the miscarriages, there was a deep-rooted trauma there that prevented them from coming. So I know I have a lot of unraveling to do. But in her podcast, she was just explaining, like, she lost a son, 2 twins, and she has a daughter now. And she just bared her whole soul on that podcast. And it was just so raw, so real. It wasn't about, mine is mostly about spirituality. It was just about the trauma, trauma that people go through, that just because that military veterans aren't the only one walking around with PTSD. And for the longest, I don't know why, I just felt like those were the only people that had trauma. But hell nah, breakups, trauma bonding, abandonment. There's so many, like all of us have experienced trauma. Everybody. And I think I used to just only give grace. Like my best friend, she was in a foster care home, and she just talks about everything that you hear is true. And I was just like, oh my God, she's just such a beautiful soul, you would never know. And ultimately my goal is to have a stable home, to be able to bring those kids and love on them and teach them about conscious spirituality and love and growth, and to send them out into the world. Because can you just imagine realizing that, damn, my mama didn't want me. Damn, my daddy didn't want me either. All this bad shit is happening to me. Why the fuck am I here? Can you just imagine if that was your life? So sometimes I have to sit down and remind myself, like, I'm so very thankful and grateful for my life. It could have been something else entirely. So I just remind myself, like, yeah, I can have my emotions about what I'm feeling. But it is not the end of the world, and it doesn't even come close to half the stories that are going on around the world. And I just remind myself to be grateful and thankful and how blessed I am. And I think sometimes you can program yourself just to see the negative in life. But at some point, you have to look the other way and look at all your blessings, look at all the positive, look at all the good. Because you can get stuck in that spiral. So yeah, check out her podcast. And then the Reiki Healing Prayer Reco for this podcast will be for all the healing teachers and masters through all, mediums, whether it's art, written, dance, music, acting. We do thank you for creating healing for us. And then a music reco I have would be Londrell, Let the Trauma Go. Londrell is an amazing soul. To me, I think music is different these days. I feel like he writes poetry and he's able to marry it with music, and it's like therapeutic and healing for your soul. It's like spoken word to music. Because when you go to poetry and they give their poem and you snap your finger, and I just imagine music behind it. Like the best beat, the best frequency, the best, like he knows. He doesn't just pick a beat. Like it's a healing. So I feel like, and I just learned too that when I go over the modalities, this one lady, she was like, I'm a written healer. She was like, I heal with words. And I never thought of that. Like I was, some doctors are healers, nurses, Reiki, massage therapy. You think about the ones that are hands-on, but even in the Bible, it says life and death comes from the tongue. So yeah, pastors aren't the only one healing. You can do poetry and heal. You can sing a song and heal. You can write a book and heal. You can write poems and heal. So it's like, oh my God, I wrote it down. I am a multi-written modality healer. Because I like to talk, but I also like to write. I just haven't shared the written part with the world yet. But if y'all think I talk a lot, baby, I have ideas and ideas and ideas and ideas full of books. But I know why they didn't go out, because it wasn't time yet. It would have just been books that aren't healing. And I'm glad I haven't put them out yet, because I don't just want to be an author. I want my books to actually heal. Like Mike Reed, when I read his books, he talks about relationships and stuff, but I swear, like every poem is like, it's like a hug and a kiss. It's like wiping a tear from your eyes. It's like encouragement. It's like chin up, put your crown on. And I'm like, yes, the words that I put out or what I leave behind, my legacy, my written legacy, my podcast and my books, I want it to be healing. I want it to be remembered for encouragement, for sharing knowledge, and for healing. And you can't force someone to heal. They will heal when it's their time. But you can leave the breadcrumbs for them to find when it's their time to find them. And I think that's so beautiful. Because we all are hurting and we all need healing. So the spirit teacher mentor guide would be Brydell Rice. And I have his YouTube link below. And then a good book, a good read record would be Meditations for Dummies by Stephen Bodian. So I'm almost done. After this podcast, I'm going to take a little break and finish that book and actually set up my my rituals and get into that. And, so I can eat, sleep, and breathe my rituals. But there's so much power in meditation. When you breathe normally, you aren't doing your body any justice. When you consciously breathe, you are directing that air to different parts of your body for healing. When you consciously meditate, you are, your body is still. You aren't looking with your eyes. You aren't moving with your body. All the energy that you have is focused. The mind can actually use that. Because when you sleep, that's a different mode. Your body's not moving. You can't consciously do things because you're like in an in-between mode. You sleep. You're tired. You're tapped out. When you're awake, you're not giving yourself time to consciously think or heal, because what? You work it, cooking breakfast, changing the baby, on a date with your mate, whatever. So those are two different modes, tapped out and on the go. Meditation is that in between. Your body, all that energy is being directed to the mind. But your mind ain't tapped out. Your mind is alert and aware. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I knew, like, people talk about just sit down and meditate. I was like, it's more to it. And I just would not stop. I just kept going. Because I knew it was more to it. Like, what's the point of having something you don't really know what it's doing? That's like having a car, not having no license, not having no permit, not knowing how to drive. It's just sitting there. What's the point? So telling somebody to meditate and they don't really know, at least for me in my mind, I'm like, what is the point? But reading this book and just learning more about the chakras and how all of this combines, it's like, oh my fucking God. They should be meditating in fucking pre-K. In every grade, you should be meditating. It should be a timer on everybody's phone to meditate. This should just be something that's drilled into us, not just the monks. It's like, oh, this is why they go high in the mountain and just because they using their mind. They know what to do. They're not trapped in this thing called life. They're not in this 9-to-5 grind. They doing what they need to do spiritually to get the fuck up out of here. Because I do feel like we come back time and time again until we can get out. And I feel like, baby, I got so many keys this time around. I am not coming back. Like, I got it. Bro, I got it. And I'm going to leave the keys for everybody else. Because when I say I'm not coming back, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not coming back. So yeah, a quote for this podcast will be the final stage of healing. The final stage of healing is using what happened to you to help other people. And that's what I meant about my books. Now that I know, girl, you lived through so much trauma. The first person I blame is myself. But I can have empathy and compassion for myself because you do what you know to do and you don't do what you don't know to do. So I have compassion for myself, but I also take accountability because nothing can happen to you without your permission. Certain things like rape and stuff, but sometimes I feel like you can even put yourself in those situations. Sometimes, not all the time. Some very small percent of the time. And so yeah, I just learned how to do that, and I want to be able to transmute that in a written way and just write books. So yeah, so this quote is the final stage of healing as using what happened to you to help others. I think that's beautiful. And sometimes when you hear someone else's story, it sparks something in you. Like, it's something with me about relating. Like, I can read something, I can know something. Then when I hear it, it's like, you get like you, yes, we been. Like, I read blogs and stuff, but when I got into the infertility group, it's like, oh my God, we all are going through the same thing, but we experienced it a million different ways. Her eggs won't take. She don't got no eggs. She had a miscarriage. She had a tubal pregnancy. She's single and ain't got nobody. It's just like everybody is dealing with not having kids. But it's so many different stories about how that happened, And so, yeah, I don't know. Relating is therapeutic to me as well. I guess that's why they have all those groups. By the way, did you know there's an AAA? There's also like a sex group. For being hypersexualized. And there's so many groups. It's not just AAA. That's just the only one we know. But any trauma or illness that you think about, there's a group for it. Like, literally. Let's see. This is the joke of the podcast, and this came from Mama Meesh. My mom gave this one to me. It was so funny, so you better laugh. What do you call a bear with no ear? A bee. When I first heard that, I was like, what? I was like, Mom, a bee? And I was like, oh, a bee, because there's no ear. You get it? Anyways, laughter is good for the soul. So my podcast references for this episode would be Healing Modalities, my Pinterest link, the 77 Types of Healing, the actual article or the website page, and my Trauma and Healing playlist on YouTube. So I had filled it up with trauma, and then I was like, you know what? No, heal. We're not just going to be trauma. So it's sprinkled and mixed around with different trauma videos and different healing videos. And I know they say this is the age of Pisces and information. But I kind of look at that as in we're realizing how traumatized we are and the information of how to heal ourselves is flooding through. And it may just be me and the lens that I'm looking through with trauma and healing. So maybe that's what I'm seeing. Because in the past, I don't think I ever referenced trauma and healing. And you know what? That's true, because on these social media, there are algorithms and they only, recommend what you're looking at. So if all I'm looking at is videos, that's all it's going to give me. It's not going to randomly pop up trauma or healing, because that's not what I was focused on. So if technology mimics us, then that means what we think about comes to us. If you're constantly looking at drama, that's what's going to be magnetizing your life. If you're constantly meditating and healing, that's what's going to come to your life. Because technology mimics us. We're real. Technology is AI. AI can never create. It can only copy. And we are creators. We can create. But technology can never create. It can only duplicate or copy. Like, I didn't know, they were saying real computer people, real scientists, real whatever you call them, when they make an AI, it's not thinking for itself. It has millions of different conversations, millions of different texts, and it's able to mimic a conversation based on information. But it's not coming out of its own self, out of its own soul. And I was like, okay. Because even us, like, we're taught certain things. But then we can randomly talk about other things too. Like, I remember always having a lot of questions for my mom growing up, and she just didn't know the answer, and she used to be like, Google it. And I felt so sad and disappointed, but I realized, hey, a person can only tell you what they know. And that's when I knew my life path has always been like learning and knowledge, just because I crave it. And my mom is very intelligent. She got accepted into Harvard. She has a 4.0 Kappa Kappa Kappa. She was almost about to be a teacher, but she's really strong in her faith. And when they started LGBT, she just didn't want to have to force to teach preschoolers that. She's not gonna, but her morals are not gonna be budged on a paycheck. So I definitely get that from her. But I get my wits from her. But she searches what she want to search, and I search what I want to search too. But I actually just have a lot of likes and interests. Spirituality is really heavy right now, but I'm deep into the sex world too. 50 Shades of Grey, didn't scare me. I want to know all about BDSM and what is that life like. And I will go as far as, there's a lot of like freaky fetishes out there. Like, the whole kid thing is disgusting. And then some of that stuff is like, something is wrong with these people mentally. You really want this person to dress up like a baby for you and cry, and you changing their diaper and stuff. Like, that just reminds me of pedophilia. So there definitely is a line. But when I have a subject, I want to learn all about that subject. And it's not just faith. It could be, cooking, everything about veganism and different recipes and stuff, and herbs, all the different herbs I can plant, and sex life, and then that goes into trauma, and or you could take it into spirituality with Kundalini or tantric, and but yeah, I get that from Mom. I just look at this whole world, and I just want to learn as much as I can about it. But I'm learning everything mirrors spirituality. Like, a tree is a tree physically, but it has a spiritual message that to be rooted no matter what happens, rain, sleet, hail, or snow, to stand your ground, and to give to others, to give air to the humans, to give shelter for the animals. And then things will always change. They change with the seasons. They're not afraid to shade their leaves. They're not afraid to die, because they're going to be born again. I don't know. It's just the way I look at things now is there's a physical way to see things, but there's also a spiritual way to see things. And I don't know. I like it. I will be happy to be able to share the knowledge that I have with my future family. Like before, I don't know what kind of kids I would have raised, but I'm growing and I'm stepping into my womanhood, and I'm excited to be able to share that. So let me get into the actual podcast. Types of healing modalities. I actually wrote down what came to my mind for healing modalities. Just by writing. And I thought of nature, sunshine, vitamin D, water, herbs, music, dance, yoga, writing, prayer, laying of the hands, reiki, meditation, talk therapy or therapy. And I was just surprised that there was over 77, and that's all that came to my mind. These are just some thoughts that I had. I was thinking of the 5 senses: sight, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, and how can you heal those? I know visualization is a form of healing. You might think of vision board. Sound frequency, such as the sound bowls, reiki, or laying of hands, which would be from God, which is source, channeling through your body to the person needing the healing. Tasting could be cooking. I didn't know cooking therapy was a thing. Smelling, aromatherapy. I was thinking of the mind. Some people say they send love and healing to their past, to their future, to their present. Chakra healing, you can do meditations, different frequencies and stuff for all 7 of your chakras, and there's so much more. I'm going to do a revamp my chakra episode because I'm working on a chakra book. The root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. I've been on my journey almost 6 years now. And I promise you, you will learn something new each time. How many times have I said chakra? Y'all can go back and listen to chakra episodes. And I have a new eyesight on the chakras now. It's like you can learn, you can keep studying the same stuff, but it just goes deeper and deeper, and more stuff is unfolding. You know what it reminds me of? Those little dolls. Like, it's a big doll, and when you open up, it's another one, and you open up, it's another one, and you open up, it's another one, and open. That's what this universe is. It's like you thought, like an onion with layers. You thought you knew about the chakras, but let me tell you this. You thought you knew about the chakras, let me tell you this. And it just goes more and more. It's like, oh my God. But the chakras are amazing to me. Those are going to be my babies. The chakras really connect to everything. They're like roots to me. They connect to everything, from numbers to food to frequencies to planets to you to nerves to the 12 body systems. It's like, it's chakras for me. And I think everybody's like that. Something will connect them to everything. But it's source, of course, but it's the chakras for me. Then I was thinking about the body. You can, I actually found a prayer on YouTube where she was praying for all the 12 body parts, and I thought that was amazing. You have your reproductive, your skeletal, your skin and hair, your cardiovascular, your digestive, your immune, your muscular, your nervous system, your renal and urinary, your respiratory, your circulatory, your exocrine. And you can heal those different parts by eating, meditation, frequency, acupuncture. I mean, even surgery. I don't count out surgery, but just be careful because surgery isn't always the way. And then I was thinking about your aura, and you can even heal your aura too. You have your physical plane. In the physical plane, you have your physical body, your etheric body, your emotional body, your mental body. And then the astral plane, you have your astral body. And the spiritual plane, you have your casual body, your celestial body, and your etheric temple. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so many different parts of us. And we don't even know about them to even know that they're traumatized. Know about them, know that they're traumatized, and even think of how to heal them. It's just like having a car, not knowing what to do with that car, and wrecking. Like, if our bodies were a car, we'd walk around here wrecked. Okay, and then this lady on YouTube, her name is Jeannie Lynch, and she has it's actually in my YouTube list. What kind of spiritual healing are you? And she gave 12 questions, which were yes or no, and at the end, depending on your answers, it told you what you were. So she said you could be more than one, and I'm actually 3. The 3 that came up for me were I'm an empathic healer, I'm a psychic healer, and I'm a spiritual healer. For empathic, she said you heal by scanning with your thoughts, with feelings of past and future, and you're sensitive to feelings. She said for psychic healers, She said we use metaphysical, mind, body, channeling, vibration for the physical body and the mental body. And for spiritual healing, we use therapeutic channel. We channel energy from source to the patient. And I was like, oh my God, I am empathic. My psychic abilities are increasing, or I'm listening, let's just put it that way, because I feel like we all have it, but do we listen? And spiritual healing. And I was wondering, like, why am I being drawn to like eat better and to heal and to, you know, do yoga and meditate and stuff like this? It's like, or sometimes you're even drawn into this world by trauma. So at one point it felt like I was egg and I just fell, splat, the egg cracked and just splattered all over the kitchen floor, and that was me. And it was like, girl, you didn't crack, you just got out of the shell. And now we can either scramble you into an omelet, or, you know, what you want to do. Because some people use eggs for healing too. Like, I've done that before. You take the egg, you pray over it, and then you move it all across your aura, and then you crack it into a glass, and then you either flush the egg. You look at what the shape it is, and if you can read, you can tell what type of energy it is. There's like a whole message in there. And you can either flush it down the toilet, or you could bury it far away from your home. You don't want the energy to be around your home. And that's just because the egg is so sacred. Like, it's like a port. To me, it's like a portal of life. I think the womb is a portal too. So anything that brings forth life is a portal. So anyway, yeah, y'all might want to do that test. And there was 4 different types of healers, but I only resonated with those 3. I think the other one was, what was the other one? Empathic. I think physical, like massage and stuff. And I'm not a hands-on person like that. Let's see. So now I want to just go over the list of 77, and then I want to really spend more time on Pinterest. So I'm going to pause, and when I come back, it's going to be just a quick overview of the list of 77. But the link is there so you could take your time and go over it. And then Pinterest is where I'm going to have the most fun here. All right, so we have acupressure. Is acupuncture without needles. Acupuncture, the insertion of extremely fine needles through the skin at specific points of the body with the intention of manipulating the energy or the ki. Angel healing. Healers in the angelic realm, such as Archangel Raphael, their main role is to support, heal, and guide in manners involving help. So that one was about Raphael, but there's more. There's over 77 angels, and there's 77 demons, if you didn't know. And I feel like angels and demons are energies, and we can channel them. So we are the angels and we are the demons, because you'll see someone, you know, feeding 1 million people, and you'll see someone being a serial killer. They both have energy, but how did they decide to use that energy? Then we have aromatherapy. It could be candles, potpourri, perfume. It can also be plant essential oils. Aura healing. If you are near a negative or angry person, their feelings can be absorbed by your aura. Aura healing is achieved by meditation and visualization. Crystals also work well. Ayurvedic medicine in Sanskrit means the science of life. It's really plant medicine. And they use the medicines for massage, meditation, cleansing, and detox. Biofeedback involves the use of electric monitors measuring functions such as heart rate, number of respirations per minute, the blood pressures, any tensions in the muscles, and activity in the brain. Botanical medicine is a form of alternative medicine such as plant extracts to prevent illnesses. It's called alternative medicine, but it's as old as time. Sometimes they'll call it dietary supplements so they can get it into the stores in tablets, capsules, gel gels, liquid powders, and bars. But if you want to be honest, we can make a lot of this stuff at home. We just got to get our herbs, 99 proof liquor, some jars, some blue or brown jars, and we really can make our own stuff. We just got really, 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 really lazy. Breath work. When you feel panic or stressed, you know how they say count to 3, 1, 2, 3, or count to 10? There's science behind that. When you are angry, you are not thinking. You're completely emotional and erratic. You probably will make a lot of bad decisions because you're emotional. Your brain only does one function. It's either going to focus on being emotional or focus on a solution. So that's why when you see Chinese people or boxing people, really in Chinese, they say, control your emotions, because when you're angry, you're going to lose the fight. You're not thinking right. And when I think of that, I think we just don't know how important our breath is. Your breath to your body is like gas to the car. A lot of us think it's the blood. If there's no air coming into this body, that blood is not moving, honey. Do you know your blood is carrying the air throughout the body? So you breathe in the air, it's broken down, and, it goes into that blood, and it's, sent all over the body. But without that air, baby, none of this works. Without that gas, that car don't work. Although there is a water car, there is a hydrogen car, they just want us to stay with this fucking fuel. But okay. Chakra balancing and chakra healing, that's going to be me. Each one is associated with parts of the body and ailments of that area. The highest chakras relate to spiritual. Yes, and the lower are physical. This can be done with visualization of the chakras and the chakra colors, meditation, working with the chakra crystals, chakra stones, using sound, or having a healer work with you. That's why I feel like chakras connect with everything. It's kind of ridiculous. Chinese herbs, traditional Chinese medicine. When I first was looking into fertility, there were these teas. And I'm just so impatient. Everybody was taking these teas and they was getting pregnant. That's why I know it can happen, because so many testimonies. But I didn't even have the mentality of, girl, those different herbs relate with different parts of your body. And when you take them, not just one time. Sometimes I could be so fast. I took it one day and it didn't work. Like, no, just keep doing it. Change your thoughts, change your vibrations, change your moods. Have faith, keep doing it, and just let it work. Like, even when you break a bone, it's not going to be healed overnight. It takes time. The doctor put that cast on. You do, see me in 2 months. And by the time you come back, it's healed. So, the Chinese, they know. That's where we get all of our knowledge from. They know. Traditional Chinese medicine. Chinese herbal powders, formulas. Then you have chiropractic. We all know about that. You get in a car accident, first thing you want to go do is see a chiropractic. However, as I was learning about the chakras, your spine correlates to chakras too, which some people really say the spine are the chakras, but instead of putting it on the back, they put it on the front of the body, which I agree now that I'm learning more about it. Clinical hypnosis. A lot of people say they do past life regressions and they're able to heal their childhood wounds or go back and visit other lifetimes and learn, messages. Some can even go to the future. But you have to be careful with the future, because if you change one thing, it may change others. Color therapy. Now, since I've been learning about the chakras, I want to get into this too. So there's different light frequencies that your body absorbs, which can be healing as well. They say the human eye can only see light between wavelengths of 380 and 780 nm. This window is called the visible spectrum or visible light, and it's really the rainbow, but there's so many other colors. Like people that can see auras, they're able to pick up on those other colors, and I'm pretty sure they're also able to see spirits and stuff. But those colors are red, yellow, pink, green, orange, purple, and blue, which are the chakra colors. Cranial sacral therapy is gentle form of hands-on healing by light fingertip pressures applied to points around the head, body, knees, and feet. Creative therapies, that's what my Pinterest is going to be about. I I didn't know how creative I was. So yeah, creative therapies can be any creative work that involves music, art, dance, movement, and many other creative activities. Crystal healings, y'all know I love my crystals. The goal of using healing crystals is to bring the mind, body, and spirit back into harmony. I'm going to order these beautiful crystal earrings that I saw, and I just can't wait to get them. My ring came today. It's not what I expected, but it's a moonstone, and moonstone is supposed to help you be in tune with your frequency more. I probably should have just got an actual crystal, but this one is in the form of a ring, so I'm going to just stage it and see what it do. Cupping is a form of traditional Chinese medicine. It involves a cup on the patient's skin, creating suction, drawing out negativity, and stimulating the flow of key energy to the body surface. They have airlock, sliding cup. It leaves marks, and some people think it's abuse. There's dietary therapy, which is food-based healing, which could be a specific diet, specific food, minerals, vitamins, nutrients. Such as vegetarian diet, eating foods of a certain color, eating fruit only, eliminating specific foods, low salt diet, and diabetic. A lot of us are on that, whether we know it or not. A lot of people have tried the dietary therapy, food-based healing, but what they didn't tell you is it's a mind, body, and soul. So congratulations, you got the body together, but what about the mind and the soul? And my sister even told me that. She was like, okay, you're eating right, but if you have negative thoughts and are sad and stuff like that, like, are you really in line? Like, it's like, what's the point? I was like, oh my God, they all have to be aligned. So I moved from food, and now I'm on the spiritual, body and spiritual aspect of it. Learning about the different body parts and tying it with the spirit and bringing it back with the food. Dietary therapies. Nutrition has always been very important in the diet in the traditional Chinese medicine. So in this particular dietary therapy, they tell you what you can eat based on, your birthday, and I'm pretty sure your age, gender, level of activity, time of year. That sounds like a science to me. Dermal friction is a form of traditional Chinese medicine. It's called gusha, which is pronounced gawasha. It involves the application of lubrication such as oil or Vaseline to the patient's skin and scrape with a blunt edge tool, which could be the edge of a glass or a china soup spoon. It's used to divert colds and flus caught at the early stage, muscular pains, headaches, and fever. Now that I think about it, I'm starting to think like negative energies and frequencies turn into colds. Like, what if you play an evil frequency and it manifests in your body as a cold? And you're able to get that out by moving that energy. Of course, you have to know the flow of the veins and stuff so that you can make it go out the right way. But yeah, I'm starting to put this shit together. Distance healing is healing performed when the patient is not present. Healing energies can be transmitted over any distance. Divine healing involves supernatural acts which solves a problem which may be physical, emotional, or spiritual. Emotional healing, how to heal yourself. As humans, we have ideas about how things should be. If these ideas are at odds with how things really are, we are very good at beating ourselves up. This is me. We revisit choices that we made, things we've said, paths that we feel we should have taken. We diminish our happiness by focusing on what we believe is not right in our current situation. These negative thoughts and harsh self-judgments can make us emotionally unhappy and therefore even more negative. It's interesting that if we have a pain in our body, it will cease once the cause is removed. However, emotional pain is not so easily healed. We hold on to it when we believe that if only something was different, we wouldn't suffer so much. The magical something is external. The truth is that we hold on to pain because of a false belief and perceptions. How to release negative emotions. Don't ignore your emotions. Try to retrain your brain to see your emotions more objectively. Be gentle on yourself. If you always react to a particular situation, take a long, hard look at that. Meditation, I told y'all, meditation is one of the best ways to let go of your old ways of thinking. And the more I think about it, meditation is also reprogramming your mind. So you've been doing things, like I'm 33, you've been doing things this one particular way for 33 years, and we see the results of that. So how about we change it? And meditation just gives you that time of not doing XYZ. You know, I'm not dedicated to this job. Like, this is 100% about me, my body, my soul, my health, loving me, and not think about the future, just being in the present moment and, you know, loving and sending that energy and healing to the current, making changes so that it will be a different future. Energy healing, energetic healing is a name for any form of therapy that can be used to bring energy in our physical or etheric body back into balance. They give a few examples: acupuncture, angel healing, aura balancing, chakra balancing, color therapy, crystal healing, flower and vibrational essences, kinesiology, reflexology, reiki, sound therapy, and spiritual healing. Faith healing is a term given to a healer where the giver and receiver both have faith that it will work. Group healing is where an individual is seeking healing, joins a group, and is in the dynamic of the group that helps to heal every member. The term could be applied to support groups, group therapy, or group counseling. When we talk about that, it's so funny. Healer, modified facilitated healing. A healing moderator or facilitator is a person who is a healer and offers their services to individuals or groups. Healing environment. This is a creating an environment where you can have peace and quiet to heal yourself. To do this, you need your own space. If you have a spare room, adapt it to those activities that you find most healing. For some people, it's sleep. For others, it's meditation, getting lost in a book, creative activities such as painting, drawing, sewing, knitting, doing a puzzle, or any other pastime that you find relaxing. I thought that was interesting. Healing herbs. Healing herbs have been used for healing since the time of immortal. Most villages had a healer or a head witch who knew the best herbal remedies used for illnesses and healings. Healing light. Healing light can be from green for the heart chakra or blue for the third chakra. The most powerful light is the divine white light of healing and protection. Healing meditation. This is a meditation which is embarked upon with the goal of healing a part of ourselves or a group or a distant person who is not present. Healing plants. These are plants or parts of plants which are known to have healing properties. Healing power. This is simply the power used for healing. Healing prayer. This is a prayer that is said as a request for healing from a divine source such as God. Healing quotes. Something that someone has said about healing that is quoted as being wise, informational, supportive, informational, or humorous. Oh my God. Healing stones. These are stones that are used for the purpose of healing. Many people use the term crystals and stones interchangeably. This is totally acceptable common usage. However, it's not quite accurate. All crystals are minerals, but not all minerals are crystals. Healing touch. Healing touch is a form of energy and complementary therapy. Healing words. Because we are spirits having a human experience, we often view ourselves as being damaged by external circumstances. We need to remember that we are spirits as such. We are already complete and whole. We also need to remember that it's possible to be healed without being cured. Connecting with spirit and realizing that we are energy beings can facilitate this healing. Healing words are always positive and may be chanted during a meditation or just repeated as positive affirmations. Holistic healing. Holistic healing has been recognized and practiced for thousands of years. Holistic medicine is the active treatment and support of the body's own innate ability to heal if treated correctly. Hybrid healing. This is the use and bleeding of more than one healing technique to get results. I'm a hybrid healer. Hypnosis. During hypnosis, a person is put into a relaxed state where they become highly responsive to suggestion. Imagery. Imagery is another term for visualization. Integrative combined healing, another form of hybrid healing, but often involve Western medicine as well. Massage therapy. There are now more than 80 different types of massage, and many of them are relatively new. I did not know that. I'm going to look into that. Mind, body, and spirit. This is a term that is often used but not often explained. Seeing the mind, body, and spirit as one is truly holistic. The three should be balanced so they can work in harmony with each other, helping the other two. If one area is neglected, then the other two will suffer. This was interesting to me. So they have mind, quiet and focus your mind. Spirit, renew and awaken your spirit. Body, cleanse and nourish your body. Body and spirit is chi energy. Body and mind is subconscious. Mind and body is emotions. Wasn't that interesting? Mind-body therapies. These are therapies that use the body to affect the mind, such as Qigong, Tai Chi, and yoga. Do you know in China, they were putting those people in jail and selling their organs? So when people say, oh, I'm going overseas to get organs, yeah, I wonder why. Like, you have to question that. Why are organs cheap over there? Because they put those people in jail, and when you're in jail, you lose rights. Like, they're literally opening those people up. When I first started going down a deep hole, that was the first thing that I heard about. And I was like, what the fuck? These people are practicing something that's mind, body, and health, meaning they have a good mind, have good body, have good health. But since the government doesn't want them to practice it, they're being thrown in jail and losing their organs and being killed. Like, just get the organs at regular price, because if it's half off, we know why. That's demonic. Mindful movement. We know that exercise is important. Qigong, Tai Chi, and yoga. Mindfulness. It seems that everywhere you look today, you will see mindfulness as a key to everything, whether it's for improving your productivity at work, increasing athletic performance, or just making yourself more successful, healthier, and happier. What is mindfulness? It is learning to be in the moment and to be non-judgmental of yourself and others, to be patient with yourself and others, and to be kind with yourself and others. So, be non-judgmental, patient, and kind. Moxibustion is a type of heat therapy which is used to improve the flow of qi in the body. You know what this reminds me of? When you light sage and you clear your room, but this is more so your body, and it's the heat is supposed to clear different thing. And one of the fertility people, she was actually selling this. So between the smoke and the smell, it's supposed to be healing, like mudwort. And they even explained that mudwort smells like marijuana, but it's not. Naturopathy or natopathic medicine, natural healing. This is a type of holistic type of alternative medicine which promotes mind, body, and spirit wellness by accessing each patient and then using natural therapies to restore balance to the whole. Non-religious prayer and healing. This is a healing prayer which does not involve organized religion. It could include meditation, Huna prayer, a short prayer that you repeat every day for 30 days, or asking for help from nature spirits. Osteopathic medicine is a holistic system which focuses on preventing injury and illnesses. They look for alterations that can be seen in the normal anatomy. The goal is to correct the abnormality, to get rid of the disease or lessen the effect that it's having. It's most commonly used for musculoskeletal issues such as strains, sprains, pains, and headaches. Pranic healing is a system of energy healing that was developed by Grandmaster Chokosu. Prana is a Sanskrit word for the vital energy or life force that keeps the body healthy and alive. In Chinese, it is called Qi, and in Japanese, it is called Ki. The three main sources of prana are air, sun, and ground. Prayer for healing. Prayer is very personal. It can be used as part of an organized religion or as purely spiritual way of connecting with a higher power. Problem-solving healing. And this type of healing, it is necessary to recognize problems or issues that are causing illnesses. The malady may be from stress, emotional pain, mental issues, spiritual issues. Once the issue is recognized and dealt with, the healing will be able to commence. Qigong, Qigong. The Chinese word Qi, pronounced Qigong, means breath of air. It is a vital life force of energy. In other cultures, it corresponds to Pranu in Greek, which is bioelectricity in the West, and prana in Sanskrit, which is Indian. Gong means work and refers to the effort that an individual puts into any practice or skill that takes time, practice, and multiple repetitions to achieve. Breathing, postures, meditations, guided visualization, or imagery. Quantum healing, Deepak Chopra. The term quantum healing was coined by Deepak Chopra and is the title of his best-selling written book in 1989. So he basically combines the mind and the body, and it doesn't really tell you about it because I guess he wants you to get the book. Quartz crystal. I've given quartz crystal its own space here because it's known as the master healing crystal. This is because it contains the full spectrum of light, which means It may balance every one of the chakras and can work on every level to rebalance the body. It is also able to make the body's energy feel stronger and more stable. I love quartz. Reconnective healing. This is by Dr. Eric Pearl. He says, one day I was a chiropractor and the next day I was something else. Overnight, he found how to connect with energy and work with it to heal people. Reconnective healing is an easy, non-invasive healing approach that everyone can learn how to do to help others heal. It is a comprehensive healing approach, free of the ritual and technique, integral to the numerous energy healing modalities known today. You can't really compare the RH frequencies to other frequencies. I really think he's just doing frequency healing. But a lot of them, you have to go buy it. She doesn't really give much. Reflexology involves the application of pressure to particular points on a person's feet, hands, or ears. Each point corresponds to a different organ or system in the body. So when I was learning about the chakras, I feel like chakras and reflexology go hand in hand, because here they're saying each of the points. I would just name them mini chakras. So it helps with anxiety, asthma, cardiovascular problems, diabetes, headaches, kidney issues, premenstrual syndrome, and sinus issues. Reiki healing. The word Reiki is made of two Japanese words, Ri, which means God's wisdom or higher power, and Ki, which is life force energy. So Reiki is a spiritual guided life force energy. It reminds me, I come from a Christian background, and we would usually call that laying of hands, where you would go to the front of the church and the pastor would use his oil and his prayer cloth and pray, raise his hands and put his hands on his forehead, and you will be healed. Okay, well, Chinese people, they don't do all of that. They just do it. And I feel like instead of the pastors telling everybody to come to the front of the church, we should have all been taught this. So, I just love that I'm learning this stuff, because it used to be 555. I've been seeing numbers like crazy, y'all. It used to be or the Bible make it seem like only certain people are anointed, but that isn't true. The anointing is there for everybody. The question is, do you know how the different ways that you can anoint yourself? But the 5 principles of Reiki, and I haven't finished that book yet, is just for today. I will let go of anger. I will count my blessings. I will do my work honestly. I will be kind to every living creature. I will let go of worry. And I've been practicing that, and I've been having better and better days. So I am so thankful for that. Just for today, I will let go. So instead of worrying about a time frame of time, if you just focus on today, it just seems like it's so much easier. Just for today. Religious prayer healing, a prayer that is offered up from someone who belongs to an organization or religious group. Ritual healing, any series of religious or non-religious actions that the healer and patient believe have meaning and the ability to help with healing. They mentioned that a ritual is calling to make an appointment, filling out forms, waiting in the waiting room, taking off your clothing, sitting on the examination table, then putting the stethoscope on your lungs, looking into your throat, feeling the various parts of your body, and making a diagnosis. I was like, bitch, what? That's a whole ritual. Self-healing. This is any healing that the individual completes with or without help. Healing requires 3 things: the consent of the person who is being healed, the permission of the person who is being healed, and the intention to heal from the person who is being healed. The most important elements are that they truly want to be healed, they allow the healing to take place, and they do whatever is needed to become healed. Shamanic healing. A shaman is a person who interacts with the physical world and the world of spirits. Shamans are common in tribal cultures, but many people are turning towards shamanism. They restore harmony with the person, between that person and their community, and between the community and the spiritual world, so that everything is back into balance. They diagnose seen and unseen energies that are causing problems. They work with the energies to solve the problem. So you can say shaman, or you can say energy healer to me. Shazitsu is the word. Shazitsu means finger pressures. So it's basically massage, but basically, it reminds me of massage and acupuncture, but instead of needles, using your fingers. Internal organal issues such as digestive problems, muscular problems, emotional issues, and stress. Now that I think about it, there is a fertility massage that you could do to increase the blood flow in your tubes and to break down the scar tissue. And that's what that reminds me of. Sound healing. Sound healing has been used as a healing tool for thousands of years. Yes, I have my sound bowl. Spiritual healing is a complementary healing that is administered by a spiritual healer. Spiritual healers may be trained or not have formal training. Sometimes spiritual healing is offered following a spiritual church meeting. The healer may not be formally trained. In this case, only ask for healing for someone who you know and trust. Spiritual prayer healing. This is a prayer that asks for healing but is not based on any principles of an organized religion. It may be based on a person's own non-religious belief in a higher power, a belief in a higher universal intelligence, nature spirits, or belief in spirits, spiritual guides, and angels. Spiritual retreats. This is when a person chooses to withdraw from the day-to-day life to focus on their spirituality life for a short time. Oh my gosh, I'm on a retreat, y'all. You know how they call it a staycation? I'm on a stay retreat. I wish I could just up and go to India for a couple of months. It's not a vacation as such, but it can be extremely enriching and rejuvenating. During a spiritual retreat, you may choose to focus on spiritual awakening or increasing your current state of awareness. Oh my gosh. Don't put pressure on yourself to achieve a certain goal. Just go with the flow because the universe may have a different agenda for you. Just relax and accept. Therapeutic touch. Therapeutic touch is a form of light or no-touch energy healing that was developed and standardized. They always be worrying about development. Oh my God. Tibetan medicine. Tibetan medicine is based on 4 principles: karma, suffering, healing, and happiness. Karma refers to the universal law of cause and effect. Suffering is seen as a universal condition of the human life. Healing medicine sees this as a result of creating a healthy mind and making life choices that bring your energies back into balance. And happiness is not viewed as a short-lived result from temporary pleasures and accomplishments. True happiness is lasting peace, meaning, integrity, and well-being. These are gained from thinking positive and living a balanced life. Traditional Chinese medicine. Our Western view of medicine is that it is a method of dealing with illnesses and disease. Traditional Chinese medicines focus on achieving health and well-being by cultivating harmony and balance in our lives. Harmony brings health, well-being, and an ability to sustain both. This harmony leads to illnesses, disease, and evolved collapse. TCM is a way of looking at ourselves and our world. It sees everything, including what we eat, whether we do exercise or not, and how we interact with our friends, family, the wider community, and our environment. Oh my God. How you treat people affects your body. How you treat the community affects you. And how you treat the environment affects you. Bruh. This is called taking whole, and it applies to everything that may affect our health and general well-being. So TCM doesn't just justify and treat illnesses. It optimizes health and teaches how to sustain it. Traditional healing. Traditional healers practice the oldest type of medicine that is underpinned by a set of principles. It is the foundation for all known medicines, including traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and Western medicine. Traditional healing is usually not based on philosophy. It's entirely founded on knowledge that has been passed down through the generations, and is based on the healer's personal experience, including their awareness of the natural world and their senses of unity with it, their understanding of different levels of consciousness that the humans are capable of. Traditional healers view the universe as a living intelligence. They believe that the intelligence operates according to natural laws, that natural laws manifest according to specific rules. Traditional healers believe that the purpose of life and of nature of a disease cannot be understood unless the healer has a thorough knowledge of these natural laws, as well as the person's relationship to the natural world. Traditional healers must have a thorough understanding of how living things are influenced by natural laws. This is why it is often called wisdom medicine or wizard medicine. Here the word wizard doesn't mean magic sorcerer, but a wise man. This profound knowledge and accumulated experience mean that the main principles of traditional healing are similar in different countries and through thousands of years. Tunai. Tunai refers to a range of traditional Chinese medicine, therapeutic massages. Yoga is one of the most popular forms of exercise. It's wonderful for stress reduction, calming the mind, lowering your levels of stress and hormones, insomnia, irritable bowel syndrome, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, most of which can be negatively affected by stress. Other health benefits include increased strength and flexibility, better balance and coordination, improved reaction times, better lung functions, heightened condition and weight loss. Psychological benefits of the practice include relaxation, better concentration, and an improved mood. And that was the last one, yoga. Oh my God. So y'all know there's a lot more, but just to hear that list of 77, now how many do you use? How many did you even know is called a healing modality? How many of them did you know you could do on your own that you did not have to call upon said pastor, etc.? Like, you can cultivate and build these energies or abilities up on your own. So yeah, 77 types of healing. And lastly, we have our Pinterest therapy and healing. How many categories do I have? The Pinterest thing be going away. That'd be making me mad. So breathing is a form of healing. To pause and make space, to collect your thoughts, to remember, to face the next moment, to choose. There's this thing called the 4-7-8 breaths. Close your mouth quietly, breathe in through your nose and count to 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. Allow your breath to make the sound as it comes out. Repeat this 4-7-8 steps for a total of 4 cycles. Color breathing. Imagine a color, any color: yellow, green, red, purple, blue, pink, black, white, orange. Once you inhale, imagine this color entering your lungs and your body. The color is filling you up. Breathe this color in deeply for a count of 3. As you breathe out, imagine the color leaving your body. Blow it all the way out for a count of 4. Pause and then do it again. So yeah, color breathing. And then there's the warrior breath, the box breath, the 2-7-8 breathing, and the journey breath. So we know how important breathing is, so why wouldn't that be our top healing modality, right? Singing therapy. Health benefits of singing. The health benefits of singing are both physical and psychological. Singing has a physical benefit because it is an aerobic activity that increases oxygen in the bloodstream and exercises major muscle groups in the upper body, even while sitting. Your body produces feel-good hormones called endorphins, which rush around your body when you sing, which is linked to our sense of emotional well-being. When people sing together, they feel an increased sense of community, belonging, and shared endeavor. It increases the lung capacity to improve posture. It clears respiratory tubes and sinuses, and increases mental alertness through greater oxygenation. Let me scroll down. Boost your immunity by promoting healthy lymphatic system. Lowers your blood pressure, keeps you calm. Keep calm and sing for joy. Now, I grew up in a family where we were in the choir. My dad would always sing. We were always, Christmas time, just always playing music and CDs and just like singing. And I noticed, like, my brother will be singing, my sister will be singing. Like, we always have music. My sister, when she's cooking dinner, the music is going. I was just like, oh my God. How many people do you know my best friend, she won't even sit down and talk to you without music playing. It just keeps the vibe high. It keeps your energy high. It keeps your emotions high. And it's like a thing. It's like a whole thing. So I think the music industry knows that. And that's why they be changing those frequencies. And be having us singing about nonsense and degrading ourselves and stuff. But let's put singing where it needs to be back in the... And that's another thing. Church is so powerful. Black churches, white churches, all of them. When they be singing, it sets the atmosphere for sure. So yeah. Dance therapy. I love this game called Just Dance. Okay, let's dance. I have Zumba on here. I have move equals to live. Get out of your comfort zone. Dance. Breathe with your entire body. Learn something new. Don't let fear stop you. Just bring it along. Okay, that's a quote. Dance movement therapy. Dance movement therapy is a creative arts therapy. It uses the mind and body process, creating connections between feelings and movement. Body movement as the core component of dance simultaneously provides the means of assessment and the mode of intervention of DMT, the American Dance Therapy Association. DMT has healing properties for people with psychological disorders, constructs of body image, vitality, and prosocial behavior are increased through DMT. Collectively, these contracts serve to benefit the overall well-being of a person with a psychological disorder. Psychological disorder refers to psychologically and social factors that influence the mental health. Thus, a psychosocial disorder is one that is influenced by life experiences. The body image. Body image is a mental representation of the internal picture of our physical body. For people who are sexual abuse survivors, due to its physical rather than verbal nature, DMT may be an effective means of non-verbally working through the traumatic stress while gaining body acceptance and improving body awareness. For people with eating disorders that were encouraged to allow the radical energy from inside to evolve into movement, they were told to consciously experience the energy from within themselves since they are in control. The acknowledgement and acceptance of energy helped establish the awareness of body self and initiating a cohesive body image. Pro-social behavior. For people with a variety of psychosocial disorder diagnoses, including depression, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, conduct disorder, anxiety, psychosis, post-traumatic stress. When working in dyad's awareness of others and developmental of relationships, DMT was shown to help with the capacity to delay gratification and tolerate frustration. Predictable and repeated structures of session itself helped establish trust. People learned to take turns, control their impulses, share materials, and the therapy's attention. For boys with ADHD, the dance therapist was physically active in dance therapy, reducing the chaos triggered by these high anxiety young boys. With people with schizophrenia, DMT offers a way to express themselves with movement rather than verbally. Wow. For people with depression, DMT proved to be more effective in raising vitality than in other expressive therapies. Vitality encompasses concepts of being relaxed, in a good mood, being motivated, full of energy, and resources, and showing strength. What? Who knew? Freaking dance. So here I am feeling sad and doing all this stuff and not even know, girl, you're trying to heal yourself. Dancing, it always makes me laugh. It gives me a good workout. It's good music. It's a whole therapy. Who knew? Okay, so let me go to the next one. So we did breathing, singing, dance, now writing therapy. How I use journaling to transform my business and my life. Witness useful thoughts, emotions, and patterns that pop up in life. Ask questions that inspire exploration, understanding, and change. Avoid questions that encourage blame, criticism, and judgment. Free write my response to the questions. Identify and align action to take based on my discoveries, and repeat regularly, daily when possible. One thing that I learned about journaling is when you write a question that you don't really know, you could just free write and spirit gonna give you the answer. And it's like, if you know the answer, you're not gonna write something. So it's like, you be surprised, like, oh, that's my answer, but it's really, your inner higher self. I don't like to give credit. Miss Deborah taught me, don't give credit to things outside of you. It's already in you. And they don't teach yourself to rely on external things. Everything should point back to you. And that's true, because a lot of quotes say the best teachers, they point you back to you. So 50 plus best therapeutic journal prompts for mental health. This is pretty neat. If you wrote a letter of forgiveness to yourself, what would it say? What does unconditional love look like to you? After a long day, the kindest thing that I can do for myself is... Am I sacrificing personal needs to make others happy? And if so, what are they? What is my experience around forgiveness? How do you set boundaries and avoid absorbing other people's stuff? God, that was so mean. What new opportunities have come out of the challenges that you have faced? How do you remind yourself that you are enough? What does your authentic self look like? What are the 3 important things that you need to remind yourself of when struggling? How can you encourage yourself to get out of your comfort zone? If you were to have a perfect day, what will you be thinking and feeling? And how do your thoughts and feelings influence your day? I'm pretty sure there's a lot more what I want to say with writing is I have about 5 journals, and they all have different topics. Like one says shadow work, another one says love, another one says emotions. Another one is just my journal and just my thoughts and things that are coming to me. Another one is for my babies and, dealing with that trauma. But it's not just trauma, because I put my baby names in there. I put baby recipes in there. I put baby shower ideas in there. I have so many modalities of healing. I just didn't know it. I use YouTube, Pinterest, different emails and writing articles and stuff, and podcasts. So I just didn't know that these are all healing modalities. Color healing. So as we learn, different colors, either the light can bring healing, or just wearing the color can be therapeutic, or just being in a room. You notice when you go to kindergarten, the room is so bright with colors everywhere, and by the time you get to college, it's blah, especially work. Let me give you an example. Wear pink when you need patience and compassion. That's another thing I want to do. I want to come up with my new store. It's still gonna be called Love Me, but it's gonna be focused around healing and self-love. Now that I have a better grasp on the healing and self-love aspect, and I'm gonna incorporate chakras as the center, but of course it's gonna grow into other things. But I want to have different shirts, like a pink shirt, and I can put like a quote inside of it so nobody could see, or a sigil or protection thing, and as that person is wearing it, lo and behold, what they're doing, protecting themselves. So let me give you another color. Red. Wear red when you want to feel strong, passionate, motivated, and grounding. Wear yellow when you want to be confident, fearless, and inspirational. How many TED Talks have you seen with people wearing yellow? Wear black when you want to show authority, power, and mystery. So yeah, color therapy. That is so super cool. Okay, so what do we have next? Qigong. Qigong helps you to release unwanted emotions. And it's really, when you look at Chinese people, they just be moving real slow. But what they're doing is they're bringing in energy and they're releasing energy in a really slow way. So we're looking at the movement, but they're actually doing it on a spiritual, internal. And EFT is something new that I found about. There's this woman that I follow, and she just be tapping, she be talking, and she be tapping different body parts. And it's just to bring yourself into the now, because we always think about the past and the future, and it's like now, while she's saying things, and now with different pressure points. So EF tapping points the top of your head, your eyebrows, under your eye, the side of your eye, under your nose, your chin, your collarbone, under your arm. And let me just tell you her name, just in case you want to go look her up. She's just so awesome. She always wear pink. It was the pink that drew me in. So I just didn't know. Is it Gala Darling? What is her name? I think it's Gala Darling. I got so many healers. When I go over this list, Gala Darling. Gala Darling, the High Vibe Honey. GalaDarling.com. She's pretty awesome. Healing frequencies. So, do you know there's different frequencies that heal dysfunctions in your body? So, 751 hertz stimulates normal liver function. Like, who knew that? Like, are you kidding me? Matter of fact, I need to find let me do that right here. YouTube. Unblock tube frequency. Okay. I'm gonna be on it now. And it's probably stuff they don't have on here. So I see what they're doing. So everything is not on the YouTube. They want to just put it into an all. But this is a list. This is on my Pinterest. Let me do follow. That's going to be on my to-do list. Then I have the healing modalities. Let me just go over this list because I thought they broke it down beautifully. Spiritual flow is the key to healing. The more you allow the spirit or light in, the more healing you will experience. Here is a list of different healing modalities based on specific issues that you are facing. Many of these are interchangeable. Try those that stand out to you at first and see where it takes you. Spiritual healing. Healing your sense of peace, safety, love, power, psychic abilities, creativities, and the ability to communicate. Under the spiritual healing category, we have reiki, chakra balancing, crystal healing, power words, chanting, color therapy, kundalini yoga. Mental healing, healing limiting beliefs, visualization, affirmations, meditation, chakra balances, hypnosis, past life regression, shamanism, tapping. And then we have emotional healing, healing emotional issues and disorders. Meditation, breathing exercises, EFT, theta healing, aromatherapy, flower incense therapy, yoga, journaling, feng shui, reiki, crystal healing. Then we have physical healing, healing diseases and physical issues, acupuncture, yoga, massage, theta healing, Ho'oponopono. Let me tell you about Ho'oponopono because I'm so excited. I know. Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian goddess or a prayer, and what it means is I apologize, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Those 4 things. And I feel like that solves a lot. Like when someone hurts you, I apologize. And I apologize for doing XYZ. Do you forgive me? Thank you for forgiving me, and I love you. Like that will heal a lot of stuff. Okay, affirmations, mindfulness, stretch, and energy manipulation. I'm just so happy I found this stuff, y'all. It's just oh my God. It's a 10-minute day medicine idea. That's pretty cool. But yeah, you can look into the healing modalities. Then we have sound healing, which is again the vibrations and the frequencies. Sound will be the medicine of the future. So yeah, I need to look into frequencies a bit more. And then we have art therapy. And I thought this was interesting. This is what I was excited about. 100 art therapy exercises. So that completed the therapy healing Pinterest. But I'm going to pause for a moment and come back and go over those 100 art therapy exercises, because that's where I'm headed. And there are 100. Okay, so under the 100 art therapy exercises, they're categorized. The first category is emotions. Deal with emotions like anger and sadness through these helpful exercises. Draw or paint your emotions. Create an emotional wheel. Make a meditative painting. Put together a journal. Explore puppet therapy. Use line art. Design a postcard you will never send. Create a family sculpture. Paint a mountain and a valley. Attach a drawing or a message to a balloon. Draw your heart. Relaxation. Art therapy can be a great way to relax. Consider these exercises if you're looking to feel a little more laid back. Paint to music. Make a scribble drawing. Finger paint. Make a mandala. Draw with your eyes closed. Draw something huge. Use color blocks. Let yourself be free. Only use colors that calm you. Draw in the sand. Make a zentangle. Color in a design. Draw outside. Happiness. Art can not only help you deal with the bad stuff, but it can also help you appreciate and focus on the good. Check out these activities, all about reflecting on your personal happiness. A collage of your vision of a perfect day. Take a photograph of things you think are beautiful. Make a collage related to a quote that you like. Create a drawing that represents freedom. Document a spiritual experience. Make a stuffed animal. Work on a softness project. Build a home. Document an experience where you did something you didn't think you could do. Think up a wild invention. Make a prayer flag. Portraits. Often a great way to get to know yourself and your relationships with others is through portraits. Create a past, present, and future self-portrait. Draw a bag self-portrait. Choose the people who matter most to you in life and create unique art for each. I am collage. Create an expressive self-portrait. Draw yourself as a warrior. Create a transformational portrait series. Imitate Giuseppe Arcalimbo. Create a body image sketch. Draw a mirror self-portrait. Draw yourself as a superhero. Trauma and loss. These activities will ask you to face some unpleasant aspects of life, but with the goal of overcoming them. Draw a place where you feel safe. Create a mini diorama. Collage your worries away. Draw something that scares you. Turn your illness into art. Art journal through a loss in your life. Make art that is ephemeral. And that's basically creating beautiful patterns with sand on a canvas. Collaging. If you prefer to cut and paste rather than draw or paint, these projects are for you. Create a motivational collage. Create a face collage on a mask. Create a clutter collage. Create a calming collage. Collage a painting. That also reminds me of vision board. Self. Examine aspects of who you are and how you see the world through these art projects. Draw images of your good traits. Draw yourself as an animal. Create a timeline journal. Put together a jungle animal collage. Sculpt your ideal self. Paint different sides of yourself. Make art with your fingerprints. Draw yourself as a tree. Design a fragmented box. Paint an important childhood memory. Write and illustrate a fairy tale about yourself. Design a visual autobiography. Create your own coat of arms. Draw a comic strip. Build your own websites. Create a box of values. For gratitude, here you find a collection of projects that will help you be happy about what you have and express your gratitude for it. Document your gratitude visually. Create a family tree of strength. Make something for someone else. Make anchor art. Draw all the positive things in your life. Sculpt your hand in a plaster. Paint a rock. Create a gratitude tree. Create a life map. Create a snowflake out of paper. Build a personal altar. Inside the mind. Take a look inside your mind to see what's going on with these projects. Create a blob art. Mind mapping. Make a dream catcher. Draw your dreams. Miscellaneous. If you're still looking for something to empower, help, and soothe you, these projects may fit the bill. Use natural materials. Leaves, sticks, dirt, clay, and other natural materials can help you get in touch with the natural world and the more primal side of yourself. Explore archetypes. Study the archetypes to help you explore how you see and create your world. Use your body as a canvas. You don't need paper when you have your own body. Paint on your hand and feet or anywhere else you feel more in touch with yourself. That reminds me of tattoos too. A lot of people have body tattoos everywhere. Sculpt spiritual figures. Connect with those that have passed on or your own spiritual essence using these sculpted figures. Make art out of recycled items. Collage with old photographs. Create your own interpretation of a famous work of art. Work collaboratively. Use a found or made object as a paintbrush. Make crayon stained glass. Paint a window. I think that was pretty awesome. And a lot of us do those things without even knowing. Like, how many of those things did you do and not even know? Like me, I make pictures all the time. I do quotes all the time. I do vision boards. I have tattoos. It's like so many things we do. It's like you are subconsciously healing yourself all the time and you don't even know it. What do we call them hobbies or things that we like to do? Like, no, we literally are just healing all day long. We are healing. So I think I'm gonna like do those and like put it on YouTube or something. I wish I could like turn into a journal and give it to someone like, hey, do each one of these. But somebody made this up. This person was, here's a popular internet list of art therapy activities originally posted up in 2011 by the nursing school blog. I have researched current links that reflect the most interesting art therapy directives on the internet today, keeping them as close as possible to the original list. Enjoy, by Shelley Clammer. The healthiest form of projection is art. So yeah, that was it for today's episode. Now that we know everybody in the world has trauma, these are different modalities that we can use to heal the trauma. And, it's not a one fit all. It's kind of like going to Golden Corral and putting whatever you want on your plate. But happy healing, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye. It's 7.9 billion people in this world, yet you met me. And that is not by happen chance. It's a divine meeting, and may we guide each other well. If life is a school, what lesson did you learn today? What class did you take today? Did you pass or fail your test or pop quiz? If so, it's okay. Failing allows you to restudy an area that you're weak in so you can try again better than before and pass with 100%. Keep learning, evolving, and spreading love, and I hope you see the fruits of your labor. Namaste, love-a-stay, and always vibe high, babe. Thanks a million for listening. I hope you have a better than great day. Love you. Talk to you later. Mwah. Bye.